welcome to We're Not Nerds Show. Today we're going to be looking at... Don't give me those condescending looks. Today we're going to be looking at the Stanley Parable. And boy, I absolutely love this game. So to go in a little bit of what this game is about, it's a narrative-based game, and that's basically the core mechanics of it. You play as a character, by the way, spoilers all the way.
It's impossible not to do spoilers to talk about this game, to be honest. So.
Like Undertale.
So let's just start with that. I think we all like it. Play it if you haven't played it. It's worth checking out, and then come back and watch, because we're going to talk all about it.
So the basics of the game is you play as a character named Stanley, and the entire time your experiences during the game. So Stanley is sort of like a typical blue collar worker. He gets up at a certain time, does
blue or white?
You know what, sir?
No, isn't blue collar like you're a construction worker, and white collar is you work in an office?
No, that's true.
It's
true.
Do you want to start this over?
No, this is good. This adds personality to it. Keep going.
Tom here's having trouble relinquishing leadership.
White collar worker. Sorry. And he basically runs a fixed schedule. He gets up at a certain time, goes to work at the exact same time every single day, and he does the exact same thing in and out. And every day he's staring at a screen and pressing a button as he's told, and he does everything he's told. However, one day he comes to work and notices something's different. And it's at this point you realize what kind of game the Stanley Parable is.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
The entire time you're going to be going through it, and the narrator is narrating, quote unquote, what you're doing, and you can decide on how you want to progress through the story, whether or not you want to follow what the narrator tells you to do, or you want to sort of go off the beaten path.
Right.
So you guys, this is of course you guys never played or heard of this game before this. What did you guys think of it?
I liked it a lot. Well, first of all, it's first person, so it's like playing Fallout or Skyrim, except you're an office worker and you're walking around through an office. I really like first-person point of view games. I like to feel like I'm the character, and this does that. And, little side note, it works with 3D vision across 3 screens without any additional setup. So when I played it the other night, I got to play it with the full surround, and it's like, hey, this is really cool. It's my favorite way to play. Should we just start with a rating out of?
Honestly, I'm really biased. I absolutely love this game.
You're giving it a 10 out of 5?
5 out of 5.
You know what?
That's great.
This is obviously a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Would bang again.
We do 5 here on We're Not
Yeah.
You know what, sir?
Nerds. Don't worry, I'll do the math for you and I'll put it out of 5 on the video. I'm going to show a little thing right here where it starts 10 out of 10 and then I divide by 2 and we get 5 out of 5. It's going to be great.
By the way, do you like my tie?
I tied it for you so you could be wearing it, and I did it like 20 times to get the right length.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought you just got frustrated because you couldn't tie it.
No, I handed it to you. Anyway. Amanda, what did you give this game?
3 out of 5.
I think I agree. I say 3 out of 5. So you love it. Why don't you tell us why you love it so much?
The main reason why I love this game is due to the fact that not only is it very comical, it's got a lot of character and charm to it. It takes a lot of the established tropes of video games, especially player choice is the number one thing that's poked in front of you very, very many times. In fact, you're literally told this in the game that do you really have choice in a game when all the decisions are laid out for you?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
There's a point in the game where so we should say there's many different branching endings as well. Half the fun of this game is, okay, I did one thing, what happens if I try something else, right? You don't play it once, get to an ending, and go, that was my ending. Right.
Then the game would only be 5 minutes long.
Right. But I got to one ending where it was hit 1, and I hit 1, and it goes hit Z, and I did all that, and then I go, oh, I'm doing exactly how this game started, which is saying you're it's making fun of the idea of this being such a boring office worker that he just hits whatever button comes up on the screen. I mean, that's literally his job. It talks about it in the intro. He hits whatever button comes up on the screen. And then I found myself doing that and going, okay, this is the joke, and I just fell right into it. It told me to do this, and so I'm doing it.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
I feel like it's hard to rate it as a video game since.
Agreed.
See, that barely felt like. I mean, basically, you walked around, but you couldn't really interact with anything. The thing, when you did, the narrator told you to basically stop it.
Makes a joke about it.
Yeah. Basically, you're walking around and listening. So I would rate it more as an art piece rather than a video game.
It was almost like interactive art.
Exactly, like
Right.
an interactive art, which So then it's fun, or it's interesting. It's nice to listen to, but I wouldn't call it fun. I was on my phone actually. I was playing. Oh, this is a long narrative spiel.
I agree.
I'm just gonna go check my Facebook.
I loved it at first, and I'm like, this is
Yeah.
great. But once you kind of understand what it's doing, I got to the point where it was like a long kind of monologue at one point, and I wanted to be like, okay, I get it.
I wanna do
stuff.
stuff. I want to interact with stuff. I want to solve puzzles. I want to do something,
like
but there's nothing I can
Right.
do.
So it was very clever, super cerebral, worth checking out because
Yeah.
it is really. And if this guy came out with his next thing, I'd want to check it out because I thought it was super clever.
He actually has.
I know. It came out on the 15th of October or something, if I recall. So yeah, I'll want to check that out because I thought this was really cool. But unlike, say, Undertale, which again played with these tropes of what a game is, I want to go back and replay the entire story with
And
the
you do
tranquil.
stuff.
Yeah, so I can play the whole. You can play the whole thing in a different way, which gives you different insights on the game, and you get to see some different stuff. With this, I'm like, do I load it back up again to see what happens if I, jump off the little elevator thing onto that other plank way and go that way? Like, is that worth doing?
It gives you another.
Yeah. I will be honest. I do absolutely love this game, but so when I played it when I think a week after it came out,
Okay.
and I fell in love because I absolutely loved the mod and I really wanted the game itself. However, very recently, just for this video, I went back and decided to play it again. Brush up on some of the stuff. And the one complaint I have, and this is actually a pretty big one, is the repetitive nature of
So repetitive.
especially the first start of the game.
The first
'cause-
hallway, those
yes,
first two doors and all
you-
that.
We'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There are 20-something endings, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And each time, depending on, sometimes you will go off a different starting point, but you will still be going through the same starting hallway 20 times at the bare minimum.
And I found that so the most interesting ending, and this is full spoiler at this point, right? We don't care. Is you go down the hallway, you get to this room with all the screens on it, which looked really cool, and you go, okay, so this was like the mind control center where they're watching all of the workers and everything, and you get to this option where you can hit. What was it? It was turn on or off the mind control. And if you do off, that's sort of your best. I guess that's your best ending where you walk out into the. Although I almost looked at that too and I'm not controlling my character. He walks out there. Is this another commentary on control? I mean, it is very cerebral, very philosophical. But then to get back there to hit on instead of off, I had to replay that exact same thing all the way down that hallway, all the way to that room. Wait for the little elevator to come up and then hit yes and see what happens.
And you couldn't it wouldn't even let you
Or on or
speed through
whatever.
the office. Like when you just go to the keypad and enter the code, right away before he even says it, he says, "Oh, you're clearly in a rush."
Stunned to discover not an indication of any human. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Let's listen to some new
And that was
music.
funny,
And I'm
but
like,
I wouldn't. And it was very funny, and I love that part. I love that part.
funny, but at the
I don't
same
want to do
time,
it
it's
again.
like,
It's like I got the joke first.
Yeah,
so.
you can get it the first time. Actually, my favorite moment, and although this actually kind of pissed me off when I first played the game, when you get to the mind control room, and just to be an ass, because I love contradicting what the main plot
Right.
wants you to do, I hit to take control of the mind control chamber, and Have you gotten through that part?
I did, and
Yeah.
I wanted to find out how to turn off the freaking nuke.
Yeah, that's actually part of the joke.
There's no way, right?
There is no way.
There's absolutely.
I looked it up.
Me too! I was like, I'm not gonna...
I was like, I tried everything.
Like,
All
there
right,
has to
what
be
is this?
I was
And it's
playing
like,
around with the
there's no
buttons.
way.
There was buttons that are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they made
Exactly.
different sounds and all this. And I'm
there
like,
was
I'm gonna figure out this
screens, and there were
puzzle.
screens that was like
Yes.
show the button and a color, and I was like,
Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
Yeah, the entire time, what I really like is the narrator is constantly, like, he's badgering you the entire time, telling you, trying to figure out a way out, but is there really a way out
Right.
of this? And the first time you do this, it's really cool, and, like, you sort of like what they're trying to show to you, but at the same time, it feels like even if you take a different ending, the point is kind of the same.
Yeah, like that was my thing. Once you get what it's doing, once you get that it's sort of this philosophical discussion on control, it's making fun of the tropes of what we've, come to see as standard gaming, you kind of get it. And I don't think there's as much replay value. One of the last run-throughs I did, I ended up in that weird room where it's like the happy place or something. There's all the lights all around.
yeah,
yes.
and you have to go down the stairs.
And you have to jump off, and once like you do it the 4th or 5th time, you do die or something.
Yeah.
And I got to like
Yeah.
the 3rd time, I'm like,
That was sad.
I'm not gonna climb the stairs again. You know what I mean? So I just did like reset or whatever. Then I read later that if you do it for the 5th.
Yeah, if actually at that point, that one actually I probably like the least.
Yeah.
Because not only once you get to that point, you're kind of stuck. You pretty much have to jump off if you.
Right.
And I mean, you could go back and forth between the happy room and the giant staircase and screw with the narrator, and he'll keep.
I did that a little bit.
I did that a little bit too.
Yeah, but I mean, in the end, like if you didn't want to do that, you'd either have to restart the game or jump off and kill yourself and end up restarting the game anyways. And it feels kind of morbid in a way.
Yeah.
The narrator sounds so sad.
Sounds
It made
super
me sad.
It was interesting because at first, and that is one of the most interesting points. If you do exactly what the narrator says, you get through to the happy ending, which is another commentary on all you did was exactly what you're told, and you got to, what does that say about if you really want to be in control, or if you should just do as you're told? So it had an interesting thing, but he's kind of on your side until he's not. Once you do something he doesn't like, you're like, ooh, he's sort of an antagonistic, So
He's an asshole.
Yeah, that added interest to it as well.
What was your favorite endings? I like the broom closet ending.
I didn't get the room closet ending.
Oh really?
That's what
Oh
I didn't
yeah,
do.
It's actually a joke. It's not really an ending.
Oh,
You go in the broom closet and you just stay there. And he's like, "What? You think there's gonna be a broom closet ending? Are you going to like tell your friends later? Oh,
Yeah.
my favorite was the broom closet ending. What a twit you are!"
Yeah, see, that's when the humor is good.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
I also didn't feel like this was worth $15.
Okay, I have to agree with that
Yeah.
too. So I ended up buying it because you were playing so I couldn't play it through your account or whatever, through Steam. Which is completely legal, right?
yeah, no.
No, we
it's,
have the
for
legal thing where I
friends.
can through friends thing. So I ended up buying it, and I only had like another half hour's worth of material, and I was like, "Oh, really? Like $5, sure. 15 felt a little steep to me. For it really is like
I
an
only
hour to
played
2 hours.
Like,
of
I think it was 3 hours maximum that I
max,
had.
right?
And then I don't really want to replay it for a while.
And I did. I found a flow chart online which shows all the different endings. I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. There were a few things I didn't do, but I did most of them.
Yeah,
so.
I did most of them too.
Yeah, no, in terms of the value, so I got the first time I purchased it, of course, I purchased it through Steam, and then I recently subscribed to IndieBox, which is how I got the
Right.
collector's edition, and so basically I paid the $15 on top of the almost $30 for the IndieBox. Oh
my God.
And yeah, it's well, I mean, because
No, this is cool. I mean, I would wear this to work or something.
Oh, yeah,
being
no
part of
doubt.
the inside joke. I mean, the other movie I had right
Yeah.
here is Office Space.
This
and it
is
actually
funny. This
Reminds
was-
me of it because if you haven't seen this movie, check out this movie. But this is a whole commentary on
What'd
like
you draw?
anybody who's seen this, TPS reports and all this stuff. It makes
Yeah.
fun of all the typical stuff.
If you could just go ahead and make sure you do that from now on, that would be great. And I'll go ahead and make sure you get another copy of that memo. Okay?
Yeah, no, I have the memo. I've got it. It's right. Hello, Phil.
this reminds me of that. When you go through the little meeting room, there's all these jokes about,
Synergy.
And there's a slide that shows a pie chart, which is talking about the different types of charts that are in this presentation. And it reminds you of, if you work in the corporate world, it's a big joke, or that's part of that. You go, yeah, this is a lot of PowerPoint presentations, a lot of, So that was really neat, and to be part of it, insight on the joke, I like. It's just
I think my favorite thing so far is just the box itself. It looks like something you would buy out of a bargain bin
that
at
has
like a Walmart.
some cheap word processing software or something. Right?
Exactly. Everything that came in this indie box, I really enjoy because everything's full of humor. Even the booklet is like making fun of it. Like, did you want me to read a little bit of this?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so starting off, hello, thank you for purchasing the Stanley Parable. Please note, what you are holding in your hands is not the Stanley Parable.
He's going
it is
for the
a
English
piece of
accent.
paper. The Stanley
Trying.
Parable is, you know what? Don't make fun of my accent.
What accent? You're not doing an accent.
The Stanley Parable is in fact a video game. And if you ever played a video game, the important thing to know is that they all require 3 pieces of hardware: a screen, a mouse, and 3 and a 7-inch composite RCA connector. Do not continue reading until you have acquired these items.
You don't need a mouse. I
Yeah,
played without a mouse.
mouse is for plebs. If you can't master Windows on a keyboard, you don't deserve to have it.
That's right. No, I mean, the humor was great. I just, if anything, I wish there was more of it. Like, I really like that room with all the meeting
And
stuff.
different kinds of
a play
humor.
on the
It
business.
was pretty much the same kind of humor.
Yeah, it's I do love the voice actor for the Stanley Parable.
It was great.
Like the first couple of times, but after a bit, it feels so condescending.
You still getting a 5 out of 5 after all your comments?
I love this game.
No, it's
God
great.
damn it!
It's great. It's out. It is. I mean, it was really cool. I just wish. I don't think it's worth $15. If we had all purchased one for $15 and each played it, it would have been okay. I spent $5. I
Yeah.
could see that. If it was a little longer,
I would have paid $5. I would.
Yeah.
I would have.
so I mean, and so the other thing we could talk about is it is similar to Undertale.
Yes.
In that it plays with the expectation of, same thing. Yeah, it said hit Z, so I hit Z. Hit 3, I hit 3, and then I went, okay, I'm in on the joke now or I'm part of the joke because I'm doing what it tells me to. Same with Undertale, where you go, and it's spoilers for Undertale as well. Oh, this is a dungeon crawl kind of thing. I fight monsters. I should kill them all and get my experience up. For me, the end of Undertale was way more impactful.
Oh yeah, because the Undertale had actual emotion to it. The Stanley Parable was just say, here's the joke, you get it now.
Stanley Parable was more philosophical. Like, you're part of the joke from the beginning, and you see all these little things that you're playing along with. Undertale almost tricked you into it, where you play along, and then there's emotional impact at the end that really drove it home. Like, oh, this whole time I've just been doing what I think I'm supposed to do as a game, because this is a game, without considering, the ramifications of actions, because we don't think of that so much in games when, there's a monster to kill. So, I personally, I think I liked. It is hard to say because the graphics here are better. The humor, I think I liked here a lot better than Undertale, but Undertale had an emotional impact that I didn't get from this, I would say. So no, very clever. I think worth playing.
I think
But
worth
not
picking
$15.
up, like on the Steam Summer Sale. Like, give it a shot. It's definitely a pretty decent. I love the game. It's a damn good game. But it's really sort of a like a little niche thing to play whenever you have the free time.
It's more like an art piece. Like I said, you don't really play it as much as you
experience it.
We need to push the
yeah.
whole table this way a little bit. Now that we're at the end of the video, we'll fix it so I'm not all.
Yeah.
That's what we do it here on We're Not Nerds.
Damn it. You guys are so cheap.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching.
Peace out.
Stanley.